The night beckons while you dream.
child in Valorant has heard the tale before about the cursed mummy boy who felt his heart no more. So sad and lorn, the helpless lad, Amumu was his name. He ventured out to find a friend and learn about his bane. For many years, young Amumu traveled through the lands, determined to make friends if only they would understand. But even when Amumu stood upon the ledge of home, his hope would disappoint him and he would remain alone. But then the curse began to whisper in his ear. It would confirm what was Amumu's biggest fear. It pledged that never shall someone become his friend. It pledged that he shall be alone until his end. Sorrow and despair became too much to bear. The moment when Amumu realized what he had done, too late it was for him, for them, the evil curse had won. The anger and the anguish overwhelmed his fragile soul and caused a wicked tantrum that he never could control.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another matchup for, of course, casual ale, the best alcohol in the business. I am just joking, of course. We have our League of Legends going. Today we have the Piltover Division Week 1, Match 1 for Raven Esports and Apes Together Strong. So, Zenial, you ready to get this going?
Sure am. Should be a fun one.
I know we are just waiting till they are fully set up, and the draft will be started here any second now. But yeah, going to be a fun one for sure. Both teams coming in kind of I believe Apes Together Strong been a team together for a good bit. Meanwhile, Raven Esports, I know they've had some players moved around a bit, so it'd be kind of an interesting one looking at their champs they've been playing this season. A lot of variety, so it'll be very interesting to see. And here we are. We are underway.
If I remember correctly, Apes Together Strong is the team that won Noxious last season too.
So they have a lot to prove here, and starting it off strong would not be a bad way to go. So we already have the Raven esports ban in vain here, and a quick power ban on the Anivia coming back. I believe your team did a scrimmage against Raven Esports, so you know how well they can be. Certainly not maybe to the best because that was a few weeks ago. So there's been time for other scrims and practices and such, but at least as we are now, they are really hard targeting the mid laner though. Apes Together Strong, it looks like.
Yeah, his champion pool is kind of interesting to play around. So I don't. I see why they're banning his mid, but they're mid, but a lot of target bans towards him. Yeah.
And we can say that the top laner for Raven Esports has been spamming a bit of Alawi lately as well, so probably just trying to respect that, see if he's on a hot streak on that, since he has been in a hot streak on his own personal play. But Kaisa coming out pretty quick, Sejuani looking to be the counter here for the jungle. Certainly a strong jungle right now, brings some good team fight and such, and a really strong initiator, great old, oh, Seraphine, where do you think that'll be heading to?
I I would assume mid lane. I think that's in their mid laner's wheelhouse, but I don't know.
Yeah, certainly a weird one because both teams play Malzahar and Anivia, uh, and then with the Anivia being banned out by Apes Together Strong, they're obviously not looking for their mid laner to go on it. So, not sure where it'll kind of go. It's kind of a nice little flex pick due to being a very flexible champion in that aspect of going mid or bot. Could even be an ADC. We could see a Seraphine Sona for League here today. But Nautilus coming out looks like that's pretty defined as the bot lane, Kaisa not, and a set. I presume top lane, but we've seen set jungle before.
Very true. And don't count the Nautilus flex pick out yet. My team actually flexes Nautilus into jungle and supported, so could
Yeah,
be
that
some
is
fun
true.
stuff there.
Some people have even played a mid. He still has some decent AP ratios, can surprise people with some of his burst, but highly flexible. Based off what we see here, though, it's presumably bot lane, a pretty decent bot lane. Kaisa Nautilus, not something very easy to deal with, and a lot of damage coming out as well.
Yeah, a lot of setup for Kai'Sa's plasma stacks as well.
And we have the Mordekaiser coming out, presumably to stop the set. Means we'll have a nice bruiser fight top lane, kind of two big men, neither have mana pools, so they could go for a long while without having the trade backs. And another mid ban. Ape Together Strong is really targeting the mid laner of Raven Esports here, Beta Links.
Yeah, make they're just making sure he doesn't get any of his champions right now. I guess they see him as their strongest player.
In four bans on him. Man, that is some targeting if I've seen some. And, obviously a lot of ADC bans coming out, seeing as how they probably are predicting that Seraphine to either be mid or if it is support, I don't think they're as worried about the mid laner appears. So Kennen coming out. Ooh, that's a spicy pick. Where do you think that's going to be sliding in?
I honestly am not sure. I don't know if Ken and 80 carry is still a thing from seasons past, or maybe that's going support or I can go anywhere. I think in their last roles that are open.
Mordekaiser could also slide mid. So yeah, there's some high potential for this. But man, and come out on top of that, they even have the Azir on Raven Esports here. So just even more stuff going in. Looks like they saved jungle for last, unless it is set jungle, of course. Azir going to help bring in some good scaling, some good long-range damage. Obviously, set Nautilus very go-in. Azir can kind of counter with his ult, especially as Sejuani and Kennen will kind of be diving in there pretty hard. Ooh, and a Vi. We saw one as well the other day. So another Vi jungle coming out. And Yone. Oh, so I guess it is Kennen ADC. Well, I
Yeah,
guess it could be Yone as well.
very true, very true. I would like to see the Kennen 80 carry. I haven't seen that in like way back since Reckless lived, I believe. So that'll be fun to see.
Yeah, certainly a lot of variability on Apes Together Strong. Will be interesting to see how when we're loading in what positions they actually end up as, because who knows, honestly. At this point, Mordekaiser could be bot lane, and I can't really say I'm surprised. So
Yeah,
I
they
guess
have a lot of flexibility over on Exterior Strong and where their champions could go.
I would say they both have some decent scaling going up, but I don't know, Azir, if they're not able to handle, will be quite a pain. But at the same time, Kennen really has a lot of build pass to go and still holds out kind of throughout most of the game. Is there any slight advantages you're going to give to one team or the other right now?
I think I give the advantage to Apes Together Strong. I feel like their team's more well-rounded than Raven Esports. Raven Esports really wants to like pick out one person, it seems, but they do have good scaling with the Kaisa and Azir, so maybe they could swing it back. But I think overall, Apes Together Strong is a good like just dive on the whole team.
Yeah, they certainly have bigger team fight ults in the Sejuani ult and the Kennen ult. Uh, and Yone obviously having a big CC ult as well. So it is the Mordekaiser top now confirmed, as we see here getting picked. The Nautilus, Set, and Vi, as you just said, have very strong single target CC. So I think one of the worries yesterday was the Vi ult was kind of alone. This time she has some follow-up with Set and Nautilus. So both have very hard lockdown. So if there's only one person popping off on Apes Together Strong, then they're going to be struggling a little bit because there is a lot to be able to target them down. So I guess it'll just come down to how much are they able to keep their full team in it. And it is the Yone mid this game, so we will indeed have Kennen in the bot lane.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. Haven't seen that in seasons, so that'll be real fun to see.
Now with the Yone, that means Kennen is not forced to go as an ADC. Oh, I guess it was actually a Kale.
Interesting. Oh,
No, they
oh,
there was a miss, unfortunately.
mispick.
All right, never mind. We have a slight delay. This somebody accidentally picked Kale instead of Kennen. Well, at least they start with the same letter, so I can at least say that they're the bronze brains do indeed run strong. But hey, aren't we all bronze when it comes down to it? No. Well, it'll be just a moment coming back to it then. So yeah, Kennen ADC going back to that point. Do you think it'll be more of an AP style then, since they have the Yone to counteract with the AD?
I feel it can be AP, but I think they'd be better off going AD, considering they have Seraphine and Mordekaiser too, even a little bit of Sejuani. They have a lot of magic damage that they have couldn't go AP as well, so I think AD is better here, but it can go either way.
Yeah, the AP would just allow for some bigger team fighting, since obviously that's a lot more burst in the team fight category, with the ult doing more, but he still will have a lot of damage going on. It appears we're having some connection issues with the lobby. As always, when lobbies sit around, they kind of have their fun. So at least we have the draft set in place. They're asking us to go on a break. We'll see. Maybe we'll just keep talking. We do have someone in chat saying "Go Yone, go!" So obviously, whenever that happens, we'll get to see some Yone. I guess bot lane wise, do you see one? Oh, do you want us to go on a break then, Ansem? All right, we're gonna take a short break as we wait for the lobby to get kind of fixed up here. So we'll see you guys soon. All right, welcome back, everyone. Obviously, a very long transition there. Probably got a lot of naps, power naps. I know I made a run to the gym in the meantime, but we are back. We got everything figured out, and everybody's locked in. So, indeed, is Kennen ADC Seraphine support. Uh, so, Zenial, who would you say kind of has the initial lead in their lanes, at least in terms of bot lane and mid lane?
Mid lane, I definitely give that to Yon. Azir wants to just sit there, farm, and scale up. So I think Yon has a good opportunity to pressure him before six and even after six. And then in bot lane, that's a tough one because you don't see Kinnan Kinnan bot like at all anymore. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna give it to Kaisa and Nautilus still. I think just them getting their giving Kaisa her plasma stacks. It's gonna be real strong in that lane.
I think it's just going to come down to who they go on. Yeah, there's the question. AP or on hit Kennen? I could see either going. I think we were discussing that before. As AP Kennen could obviously do quite a lot here. Certainly has a lot of targets, can burst down. Nautilus is the only one I could see building true tank. Vi and Set kind of want to build Bruiser. So if he can get in there, he will certainly deal the damage. But on hit will certainly have its time to deal damage as well. What would you say on that, Zenial?
Yeah, I think both can do well here. Like I was saying earlier, though, I believe that the on hit would be better just because of all the AP they already have on the side of Apes Together Strong. So I'd like to see the on hit, but AP, can do well, can burst down their squishy targets like Azir and Kaisa. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, both sides have hard CC in the bot lane. Obviously, Seraphine and Kennen can both add a lot of kind of stacking CC as well. So it really will come down to who can get this initiation, who can get the lead first. Because Nautilus Hook, Kennen and Seraphine, not exactly the tankiest champions. Won't have the easiest time surviving an all in, as you said, by the Kaisa plasma stacks. So could be quite difficult to deal with. But at the same time, Seraphine can hit the double Q and Kennen gets in there with the follow-up stun. I think even if you are Nautilus with the shield, if you don't get that aftershock off, I think you're going to take a ton of damage.
Yeah, I think both lanes have great damage here, but I think especially if Kai'Sa and Pela Blades, I believe that she can just proc her passive like more than once in the bot lane. I feel like they have just a slight advantage in the burst factor.
Yeah, and when talking about Hail Blades, that is certainly a tech choice Azirs have taken to help be more aggressive. It'll really be on how this Azir chooses to play, because as you said, farming it out is the end goal, is kind of the main goal. But how do you get to farming it out? There's certainly been Comet and just try to harass your laner. Yon being more melee, he could certainly go with the Q spam to get the slow into the Comet to deal some bonus damage, especially with the like of Luden's on him. It allows him to really get some extra burst he didn't used to have. But he could also go in the yellow tree and get, really everything in the yellow tree works for him in terms of mid lane. So will be interesting. Yeah, lethal tempo being the main one for attack speed and conquer for sustainability in fights.
Yeah, I guess we'll just see if he wants to actually farm, if he wants to trade, or if he just wants to poke out Young.
Alrighty then, we are now on loading screen. Only a few more seconds between us and the start of this match. Gonna be a fun match after all. I think both teams have very good lineups. As we can see here, some high aggression from the Yone, but some sustainability as well. Is there anything you notice here? Any kind of keystones you think that'll be a big part of this game or really impact their lanes?
I think the Guardian Seraphine is what catches my eye here. Also the Conqueror Kinnan, that's kind of different, right? I
Yeah, I
think
think that might be along that on hit styles you said to just keep sustaining and stacking damage in the fight. Certainly could work with AP as well, but I would assume maybe more of the on-hit focus just so that when he's sitting there and autoing and autoing and autoing, he's just building up damage. But I don't know. I don't really think I've seen Conquer on Kennen too often.
Yeah, I feel like Kennen wants to take like fleet or grasp or maybe even press the attack.
Yeah, some
So
even go with Airy for the added just poke damage. So it kind of goes all over the place. It'll be very interesting to see. But Electrocute, ideally, kind of the main one when it comes down to doing the burst damage AP style. So probably looking to avoid that this game.
yeah, for sure. I think this does lead into the Kennen go into the one hit build, which I wanted to see. So that's probably really good for Apes Together Strong.
Now there is the TP advantage on Raven Esports here. They do have TP on the Azir, so if we see some big rotational plays, that will be the spot to have it happen in. It'll be from mid transitioning. So if Azir can hit 6 pretty quick, he can make some big plays with the stream of shuffle. Obviously set just all the lockdown in the world, so it can bring in a lot. Double Conqueror top though, that's going to be the interesting kind of who can out who's the bigger boy here. Both got Conquer, but Mordekaiser having the red tree, presumably for Ravenous Hunter and such, to help sustain. Do you think that'll be a big impact in the fights?
I do think it will be, especially with how Mordekaiser's build. If once he gets that Riftmaker, I feel he's just going to be a big old sustain tank up in the top lane. I don't think that Set will have an easy time fighting him in the 1v1. Might need some help from a Vi to shut Mordekaiser down after he gets his item or before.
Agreed. I do think that Riftmaker really stacks well, but due to having Conqueror, he could also go for something like Hextech Rocket Belt, just so he has better chase down, is able to get on people. It has the damage, but the movement speed is pretty intense when you're trying to just sit there and beat on people. And we've even seen some people go Leandries and such. There's really a lot of mythics that Mordekaiser can use to pretty great power, though Riftmaker being the main one that people enjoy. So certainly the number one to go to, but there's some tech choices he can certainly have here, though I presume a quick Seeker's arm guard will probably be the first back option.
Hmm.
Yes, we are still loading in as well. I'm guessing they had a slower load in with all the people having all the problems. Maybe they did one kale and they're trying to restart. We will see. Oh,
Ah, we've made it in. All right, we're just gonna be we're just gonna be syncing up here. So sorry for the delay.
it appears there were some issues loading in, but hey, getting into the game's half the battle with the small indie game that is Riot Games League of Legends. Maybe one day they will gain the budget. Oh, there was a pause. I'm guessing someone maybe didn't quite connect.
Oh,
Another
a
pause.
second pause.
Well, as I guess we are waiting, do you think there'll be any invades here? Obviously, Nautilus is a great one for going in with his hook and passive being the snare, but there's not the best follow-up. I guess Vi has some, but Azir can't pick his ability, and Kaisa is also limited. Do you think any nonsense will happen level 1?
Um, Maybe. I feel like Raven Esports does have a decent invade despite everything. But the Apes Together Strong also have a pretty good stack, especially if Sejuani starts E and Mordekaiser and Yon are both there. They're both melee, so they both stack up their E real fast. So I'm not sure if any invades want to go on, but I think they can.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see our very typical 5 stack, just getting everybody separated out, or even just a little greedier with getting a ward down and just stacking around the buff to just try to get that. So nothing would be out of the ordinary until we get there. Obviously, it will be very interesting to see the Guardian Seraphine and Conqueror Ken in bot lane when we get going here. Nothing item-wise has been bought just yet due to the quickness of the pauses. Got to get on these guys. 7 seconds have passed. Why don't you have full build?
I still, speaking of that Guardian on Seraphine, I actually really like that adaptation. I feel like that's gonna help them survive what burst that Kaisa and Nautilus bring, especially with the Seraphine shielding and healing. I feel like it's a really good keystone choice.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good tech choices done here. Vi could have gone for Halo Blades for bonus damage, but realized needs to tank up and just survive the fights to deal the damage with the Aftershock. Obviously, lethal tempo on Azir is extremely good, especially when it comes down to doing all the fun that is. I mean, it allows for some poke if he times it right, gets all the bonus damage off all the bonus autos there, and also just gives really strong power in team fights, not having to worry as much. It allows him to go for a different item before the Nashor's Tooth because he has more time and more attack speed built into his kit.
Yeah, I actually never thought about that. The not rushing the Nashor's Tooth fleet the tempo because of the attack speed it does give you. I feel like it'd still be like strong though, just because of how much just AP the Nashor's Tooth gives now. But it's definitely an option just to go for like a mythic first, for instance, instead of going for the Nashor's Tooth first.
Yeah, I personally haven't seen a ton of Azirs. I know that they are still getting, I think we're getting the ready checks going on in chat right now, so it'll be a moment here until we get back in and we'll get all synced up. But yeah, I think Ludens has been a big item for Azir's as of late, just due to the extra burst off his Q. Gives him something to kind of start off the fight. But there are, really he could go with a lot of them. I don't think Night Harvester would be as big here. I know it can do a good bit, but the Ludens adds a little more to wave pressure due to being able to proc on creeps. And obviously, Leandri's Anguish is just a lot of overtime and pen, free pen. So it might be something nice to go for as well. Be interesting what tech choices come out from the Yone potentially. Does he just go straight in? I guess what mythic do you think he would aim for? Obviously, Yones have a few mythics that kind of really fit their kit.
Yeah, they do. I think the smart choice here would be the shield bow, just because of the dive that Raven Esports has. But I'd love to see a Gale Force. I wanna see some spice out of this Yone.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunities to branch out because shield bow is indeed quite strong, but I don't know. I've seen them also go second item Bork to get that lifesteal that way. I mean, there's a lot of builds that can really go. Yone's been a little variable, especially not only being newer, but within the new season with the new items. So still nothing has been like 100% set in stone for what they buy outside of probably not going AP, I would assume.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be too great. So let me run this by you. What do you what do you think of Yone just skips the crit mythic and goes for like something like a Prowler's Claw? Would that be fun? Would that be something interesting?
Yeah, I think it would certainly be something different per se. Though I don't know if he'll have the best targets to pop it on if he's unable to get to the back line, but it certainly would have some merit. I mean, at this point, Duskblade wouldn't even be out of the question. Maybe he can get in there, pop someone with the true damage, go invis and get out. So lethality is indeed an option, though I don't know if it'd quite be the priority. I think the crit mythics are always something they're more attuned to. Oh, Scatter, I see you're asking about what's going on with the pause. I actually believe that we had the jungle for Raven Esports who was having problems in the lobby earlier. Um, was having problems again and having another like restart. So I do know that jungler a little more on a personal level, and I know they don't really have internet in their area, so they have to take their nice gaming PC over to an internet cafe, and apparently the internet cafe is having some issues today. So we will see. They should hopefully be able to. I just got the reconnected message too as well, so we should be getting back in here shortly. I believe we are doing a pause at 10 seconds to catch up with the stream host as well once they get unpaused. Yeah, luckily the technical issues are happening on their side and not our side, so we're able to just sit around and enjoy it a little bit more.
Oh, we're getting some R's in the chat now.
Do you think we'll get an Imperial Mandate Seraphine out here? Or is it going to be a little more like Moonstone or something, a little safer?
Uh, I'm probably thinking Mandate. I think Moonstone. Oh, you gotta. Okay,
Oh, I paused at 10, so
I'm good.
I'll be like a second behind. But yeah, I'll be like maybe a second off. Looks like I'm good right now. I just hit 40. We'll make it work. I'm not. Luckily, I am more of the color caster. I can worry more about what's going on, and it's really up to you, Zenial. I hope you are set up in the right time.
I think I'm good. I think I'm synced up here.
So, as said before, got very typical 5-stack. Everybody getting set up. Already got a ward going down by the sedge. Looks like she'll be resetting to get that early uh, sweeper as well to just have the control of the river.
Yep, looks that way. Got some good old Seraphine music going on there for a second.
Yeah. Yeah, got some big KDA all-out skins in this game as well. Really styling. A lot of Doran's blades. Looks like the Doran shield from Mordekaiser as well, just to make sure. Has all the sustain in his kit. Make sure he has something to negate the damage that the set will be dealing. And obviously he has the secondary tree of resolve to survive some damage as well. So probably won't be too much action happening in the top lane.
Oh, we got a little
Already
hook
have
down the Ken in the bot lane here. Nice little trade.
got the full plasma stacks off, as we said. That could be a big part of their fights.
Yes, indeed. Those plasma stacks, once they start stacking up, they do some damage. So
A lot less spicy of invades this game. No Ivern going in early to get the opponent's buff. Probably for the best, on all honesty. Those were some interesting moments with the counter invades as well.
yeah, that was a. Oh, we got a trade top here. Like Mord's walking down the set. We got some punches going on. Mord drops the Q, set flashes. Mord flashes after, picks up first blood.
They both had Conquer, but unfortunately the Mord passive is a little too much to deal with for the side of Set. He also burst all of his cooldowns at the beginning of the fight to go for a trade, and when he got hit by the pullback, kind of just spelled a bad time for him. Certainly not out of it, but having to use TP to catch up in lane and being flashed down is certainly going to hurt a lot.
Yeah, luckily the Mord had the flash to get the kill as well, so he won't be too bad off, but he'll be down in, I'm guessing down in items, so.
Looked like Vi was wanting to look for a gank after clearing red side, but the ward is already there, so they backed off appropriately, and it's just going to clean up the Scuttle Crab. Some more trading going on top. Will probably be a very big back for the Mordekaiser here when he chooses to take it, because he's catching some more waves.
Yeah, looks like, if you look at the gold here, looks like Mord is up 400 gold right now.
Yeah, he's certainly going to be having a good time there. And some more aggressive trading.
Yeah, more trade in the top lane, but Sejuani is here and picks up another kill into the Mordekaiser.
So a flash from the Sejuani to secure the hard, knock-up of the Q charge, which allowed for them to get the autos off and proc the E. So as said before, certainly she has some great people to work the E off of in top and mid lane, so wouldn't be surprised if she focuses those lanes more, giving a very, that is a very sad time for a set player. Oh, hook in bot lane?
I think we're missynced again. Oh, here we go. Yep, hooked by the Nautilus. Goes in on the Kennen. Kennen flashes in for the Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa drops heal. Exhaust has been dropped on the Kai'Sa. Kennen's looking to finish off the Kai'Sa, but has full plasma stacks and goes down the Kai'Sa. Seraphine picks up the Kai'Sa. Nautilus is on Seraphine. Good old supportal combat going on right now. Who's going to win? Oh, Nautilus flashes, gets the root. Drops the E. Ooh, Seraphine has to flash away. Does Nautilus look for the hook? Ooh, just short.
I think we might be a little off timed. I think I might be ahead of you here. Guys,
See,
what is your timer saying right now?
I'm at 5:02, 5:03.
Yeah, I'm at 5:10. Ansem, which one is closer to your timer here? I believe Ansem is coughing. Hold back.
All right.
All right, if you're able to speed up a little bit.
Okay, yeah. Oh, we have Young going in for a trade here. Nothing gonna come of that though. I believe I'm caught up now. I'm at 5:48, 49, 50. Second to two. Okay.
All right. Yeah. If you stopped it for like a second. Oh, Young going
Oh,
in
we
for
got
the
a
ult mid.
Young going with the ult. Got the. Oh my, we got 2 solo kills. 1 top, 1 mid. Young went in with the ult. Got the barely missed, but got the ignite drop on the Azir and picked him up. And I didn't get to see it happen top, but another kill for the
He did
Mordekaiser.
have to flash auto to get the last hit for damage mid lane, so Yoan having to use both summoners there. And an early, or a decently strong dragon play to make here after getting those 2 kills, knowing that no matter what, they'll have the numbers advantage, and getting a play on Mordekaiser top is quite terrifying. But honestly, with the team comp that Raven Esports has, they are probably doing just fine, seeing as how Azir does have the scaling capability. The set's going to be a little out of it, but I think if I know he's building damage right now, but he certainly can transition to some tankier stats and just be a hard CC personality here in this game. And Kai'Sa obviously keeping up in farm, or doing more in farm, just fine bot lane, and even getting the kill earlier.
Yep. Also, it looks like the Mordekaiser is going for that Riftmaker that I was talking about in loading screen. So it's going to be a big sustain tank up on the top lane.
Yeah, he had a leeching Leer, I was saying before the bot lane fight that happened, several minutes ago at this point, started off. And that must have felt bad for the set. Obviously, all of his trades now are just going to be a lot harder with all that Omnivamp and damage coming out. And now he has ult as well.
Yep, and looks like he's going to use a top lane. He's smacking down the set right now. Set's running away, trying to get to his tower. Ult's Mordekaiser towards tower, but it's not enough.
Unfortunately, he was still in the ult as well, so the ult did not bring him nearly as far back. And it appears the Yoan has been utilizing the true damage proc off of his E quite well this game to really get in there and pressure the Azir.
Yeah, he's really getting some nice trades here in the mid. Like I said, Azir wants to just sit back, farm up, and scale. While Yoan's decent early, he can trade pretty aggressively onto Azir, especially with his E, because he got that free just go back. I'm all good here, you know.
Looks like Vi is still floating around between mid and bot lane to try to find a follow-up on the CC. We have a fight going on mid.
Yep, Yoan misses his ult barely. Vi flashes in for the Yoan, knocks him with the ult, punching him down. Azir picks up the kill.
Yeah, we're seeing right there the lethal tempo allowed him to get several auto attacks off while the Vi was ulting, really allowing a lot of damage to come out on his side. Bot lane looks to be having an interesting time. This is a scary time. One side is level 6 and the other side is not. And the side that's level 6 has Nautilus ult. So a point and click knockup, not so fun. They have to respect the space pretty heavily right here.
Yep, that they do. Fortunately enough, those Seraphine's also sick, so a little bit of counter engage if they decide to go in, which looks like they are. Seraphine drops the ult, McKinnon 6-6 drops his ult. They have a TP coming in from the set. Looks like the bot lane of Apes Together Strong just going to back off from that.
Raven Esports deciding not to commit any further after using the TP. Obviously, Ape Together Strong making the smart decision to not fight. The set might be 0-4, but he also is indeed, well, I guess he didn't have 6 at that point, but they did not know that. Probably still safer over Sorry with just a full health champion coming into their lane.
Yeah, most definitely.
Oh, it was the Azir question. Missed that. Well, that made it an even better reason to back off because Azir did have ult and would have been able to do some big plays there. Realized we were looking at set in the top lane. I was about to ask how he got there so fast. I was gonna say Flash is a hell of a summoner, isn't it?
Flash is pretty strong, but I don't know if it's that strong. Oh, trade mid? That's all it is, though, is the trade.
Does take a tower shot for his troubles, though. Azir will always take any trade where he can, sneak a tower shot onto the opponent. Looking at the items he's building, I think we can probably assume what it might be going into.
Oh, you have Yon dropping the ult mid, igniting the Azir, and pick up the solo kill.
Yeah, unfortunately, he tried to go for the dash and just went to the wrong Sand Soldier there, was not quite able to make the distance he wanted. Certainly a hard time when you have the Yon barreling down on you, but hey, it does happen. When he gets that ult up, he kind of can feel like he can do that, and he's got enough crit right now that it's really showing off in this damage.
Yeah, he's definitely getting some real good trades here in the mid lane.
So we do have the steel caps that came out earlier by the Mordekaiser to help deal with the set. Do you think he might transition after finishing his Riftmaker into maybe a MR item to help deal with the Azir, or will he just go all in on damage?
I feel like an MR item might not be bad. Like I feel like he can survive the lane state just fine where he's at top lane. So maybe something like a Spear Visage will help him out, get that increased healing. But yeah, increased healing and shielding, yes. But I don't know. Maybe he just wants to be that big damage boy. Maybe he wants to go full AP. You never know.
Yeah, we did see a full AP Ivern. Would not be surprised to see maybe some other champions and other players pushing it. So Dwani really getting along there, has some scary stat items coming out in the Aegis and the Bomby Cinder, allowing her to really impact. Surprisingly tame from the junglers this game. They both made those flash plays on the kills, Sedge top lane and Vi mid, but not much else out of them. They've kind of just been trying to farm it up besides the dragon, that there appears to be another contestant going on.
Yeah, looks like Apes Together Strong started it up, but Raven Esports wants to fight this. Seraphine drops ult. Kinnan gets in there with his ult too. Kaisa ults in. Vi's trying to survive with that aftershock, but goes down. Kaisa's dropping autos, but Yon's on her now. Nautilus is stunned up, trying to help his Kaisa. Yon goes back to his spirit. Seraphine flashes for the Nautilus. Ooh, just barely can't get him. Yon drops ult towards the Kaisa. Does he dive? He's going in. Picks up the Kaisa kill, but Kaisa also returns the kill on the Yon.
Big fight there. Azir came in on the backside and ulted as well. Was unable to finish off the Kennen, who got healed up by the Seraphine, and obviously the Nautilus managed to just squeak away. They are going to be able to finish off the dragon here and get their second dragon, but I would say it probably wasn't too bad getting the Yon big bounty on the Kaisa of all people, kind of one of the characters doing well on the sides of Raven Esports. So getting her, a big chunk of gold there might be what they need to help start turning these fights around.
Yeah, for most definitely. I think the way back into the game for Raven Esports here is definitely through their Kaisa. Their Kaisa is pretty strong, already having their mythic completed compared to Kennen not having his. So they can start getting this Kaisa rolling, get her roaming around the map, picking up towers. Could be really good for Raven Esports here.
So we do have, it looks to be crit being built out of the Kennen, probably going for that on hit, as we said could happen. Do you think the Kraken Slayer was the right choice by Kaisa here to kind of help burst through some of the tankiness of Apes Together Strong's lineup?
I do think the Kraken Slayer is good here because of all the tanky boys that they have on Apes Together Strong, but I think both Shield Bow and Gale Force could have also worked here really well because of the burst that Apes Together Strong has. Shield Bow would obviously be really nice, but I think Gale Force would be good too to dodge some things like Mordekaiser pull or Sejuani ult, even Yon ult. So
Yeah, I think she certainly had a lot of items she could have gone. I don't think any were the wrong way per se. I think they all are going to have a very, big use in this game. This definitely being the more damage oriented one, which, after getting that shutdown might be the way to go, especially as we said, she seems to be the strongest one, the one able to get the team in.
Yeah, most definitely. So we have a fight here mid. Vi drops ult onto the Yon. So same was Azir, but Azir's low. Yon's looking for the kill on Azir, but barely can't get it. Sejuani comes in, stuns up the Vi. Yon dashes in, Sejuani drops ult and picks up the Vi kill. Another fight top here. More drops ult on the set. Another kill top lane. There's Sejuani chasing the Azir, but Azir dashes out.
Looks like he'll be chased down for a bit longer though by the Sedge. Not going to let him get a free back, but not sure if she'll be able to catch him if he's keeps moving here.
Yeah, looks like he's just gonna go deeper into his own side of the map and get his recall off.
Sedge will be taking the blue buff here, and Mordekaiser getting first tower for Apes Together Strong. So, or actually, was that first tower? No, Yon got first tower mid. So they got 2 towers here off these fights, really getting some big gold, as we can see a near, 7K, but 6 to 7K gold lead on Apes Together Strong. So it'll be interesting to see if they can push this advantage and end off this, because they certainly will be looking for maybe a Baron or Rift Herald to try to take out an inhib tower. Looks like they're going for the Rift Herald right now.
Yep, that it does. They got Yon, Mordekaiser, and Sejuani on it. I believe they just grabbed it. Yep, Sejuani's wearing the Eye of the Herald there.
So interesting from the set, looks like he's actually going for a little bit more of the on-hit style, even though he's been a bit behind this game. Think that it's a little too late for that?
I do. I definitely think Set would have been better off going like at least the Spectre's Cal here, maybe just a full MR item, or maybe just getting your Mythic here. But maybe he just wants to do damage, or maybe he's on autopilot. We don't know.
Yeah, certainly could just be looking for that fight to turn it around and start popping off. To be fair, he is a champ that has pretty decent base stats, so he's able to, appear tanky even though he's not. He did get the Merc Treads after all, but that Rift Maker is just, what
Oh,
kind of
we
fight
have
here?
Vi catching out the Yon here, Yon trying to get a pink. Vi drops ult with him. Yon drops onto the Azir though. Azir ults the Yon back, flies away from the Yon. Yon hits the knock up and finishes off Azir with his W. Yon shakes it onto the Vi now, knocks her up, slicing her up. Sejuani's here, drops ult on the Vi and picks up the Vi kill.
I would say the lifesteal he got off of his, Immortal Shield Bow really paid for itself in that fight right there. It allowed him to turn that around when it looked like he might just get, kind of slapped around.
Yeah, that shield bow lifeline pass is really putting in work there. Actually, I don't know if it got popped or not.
Yeah, there was a shield in the middle of the fight.
Okay.
So they did indeed nearly bop him. Was his W. I mean, it still might have procced. In the end, it still gives lifesteal whether it was the lifeline or not, and that certainly helped out a lot as he was able to out-sustain, making the Vi unable to try to go in and finish him off alone there.
Yeah, that shield bow really paying, at least the lifesteal part of it, paying dividends there for Yon.
So getting some more items finished. Azir still unfortunately lacking behind in the big item here. Keeping in some decent farm, but certainly falling behind. Kaisa just barely staying ahead of Kennen and looking to get the second item. But Kennen is now fished Kraken Slayer. Do you think that's the kind of on-hit item that he goes for? I honestly have no clue what Kennen would be building in this position.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what Kennen will be building. Maybe he goes one hit from here. Maybe he's just going full crit.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised there was no Gale Force for the added mobility. His ult's still very good for at least proccing his passive to get the stuns off. And obviously the bonus autos from it, just a little more damage all around, but Kraken Slayer certainly has its use, though. I think he is lacking a little bit in the attack speed department right now and trying to get those procs off.
Yeah, as you said, the Gale Force would have been fun to see. So we have a fight going on by Dragon here. Zir dashes in, drops the ult. Seraphine and Kennen both go wide. Sejuani gets the Dragon. The Yon is not on the Vi, knocking her up and slicing her down. Also slices down the Nautilus. And Sejuani, Kennen picked up a kill onto the Azir, I believe it was there.
Yeah, it was a rough fight. I think that's the best way to end that sentence.
Yeah.
Great play by the Azir, knocking the majority of the team off the dragon, giving him a chance to have Vi come in and causing the Seraphine obviously to be thrown way off course. Didn't see if it still hit anybody, but I did see that it was certainly not going in the intended direction. So was a
Yeah.
great use there, but unfortunately they were able to turn it around still. They just have a pretty big power advantage. Obviously the Sunfire Cape Sejuani just super tanky. Riftmaker Mordekaiser has been keeping the set away from coming down as well. And he ended up going Bork there, which has been maybe not as pleasant for the fights for the Mordekaiser, but still not enough to take him out of the lane by going in, trying to push him off tower here. And I believe no Imperial Mandate on the Seraphine. Unfortunately, we did get the Moonstone Renewer, but to be fair, the Moonstone might have put a lot of work in that last fight to keep him in it and cause basically no chance of getting any counter kills.
Yeah, I think that's still a great item for Seraphine here. With the way their team works, wanting to just go all in on the team fight. Her just doing damage, being around her team will have Moonstone proc quite often, keeping them all
So
topped
Azir
up.
actually finished a Leandri's Anguish here, so he will indeed have some extra penetration. Certainly a decent item for him. You know, maybe not for burst in per se, but for that overall damage once he gets the soldier down like this.
Oh, we have
Oh,
Yone going in, drops the ult, and picks up a quick kill into the Azir.
unfortunately, if he
Wow.
steps up too far and get hits by the ult, there's not much he can do. And seeing as how he already summoned the shoulder soldier and used the Q, there wasn't quite the ability to make the big dodge using his E to follow up. But yeah, if he gets the proc going off in his lethal tempo, the Anguish could have stacked up a few times. And once he gets all those autos going, they've basically been MR shredded. So he'll be doing some really high damage. So certainly a good item for him to pick up. Um, and he's been sitting on this recurve bow for a while, so he's had some extra attack speed to help him out. So might be seeing
Also,
that built into an item here.
yeah, we also have another interesting item here on the Kaisa. I see a Tiamat there. I don't
Yeah, I
think
was
I've
going to
seen that
ask you,
before.
is that something you've seen yourself build on Kaisa?
No, not at all. I think just getting the collector second for the evolve in her Q and then going into crit after that is the way to go. But maybe he's all about the Omni Vamp, you know? Maybe he wants his Qs to just proc a bunch of healing for him.
Might be also to help clear waves. Obviously, getting the ability to use that on abilities and ranged autos
Oh,
now certainly
Sejuani
helps.
dropping ult, Azir ulting back the team, but Kinnan gets in there with his ult, stuns him up. Quick 2 kills. Kinnan secures the Baron. Vi tries, but
It's a
close.
very, very close attempt. Smited it down to less than 100 right there. Was extremely close, and Sejuani was unable to smite back due to the timing of it. So almost got the steal there. There was a big combo of ult. Seraphine ult into Yone ult just kept their whole team down and were unable to do anything. Azir again with a nice ult to push him back, but it's almost too little to cause anything when these Yone and Seraphine ults are hitting 2 to 3 people.
Yeah, definitely. Like I've been saying, the team fight side of Apes Together Strong is just showing up strong here.
Yeah, another odd item that's been pointed out by chat is the Divine Sunder on Vi here. Um, I wouldn't say it's overall a bad item for her, but I do think that might have been a little, too little too late to try to fight in with that item. Might have been better off going tank. What do you think about the Sunder?
I think the Sunder is like if she's even or ahead, I think it's great for her because of the tanky nature of the Apes Together Strong. But yeah, I think she's just 2 behind. Oh, we have a quick catch onto the Vi. Yon dropping ult towards the Nautilus. Nothing more of that though. It's a quick pick on the Vi and the Death Brush. But
Unfortunate for the Vi there.
yeah. But back to the Sunder, I think it's just like you said, too late for her. I think she would have been better off going to tank mythic like Sunfire or maybe even Kim Tank here just to try to get some fights started.
Maybe even Frostfire Gauntlet, just so that she's able to keep him within range of her team. But to be fair, it was always going to be a later mythic item. And while the Sunderer certainly still has its use with its regen and the penetration, if she's able to get more items down, it is going to feel a little bad. Using the Mordekaiser to extend the Seraphine ult there is certainly fun. And securing the Mountain Drake to get the, shield here.
Ooh, Seraphine barely picks up the kill on Nautilus, flashing out, but Seraphine passive just beat him down.
That one didn't feel too good for the Nautilus, but there wasn't really anywhere for him to go. What do we have building next here for Set? Is this well, for one thing, there's a Warmogs on the Sejuani, so her getting in is going to be quite terrifying. But yeah, I wonder do we think there's going to be a stride breaker or something from the Set here? Is he going to be building into some more damage?
I really hope. I think Set needs to just be tanky from this point, try to be the front line for his team so he can get something started. But maybe he's just all in for the damage.
Yeah, they already have the locket with the Nautilus. Wouldn't even be surprised to see maybe a Sunfire at this point from him, but I don't think that he has that in mind at all after building the Blade.
Looks like a little skirmish going on here in the bot lane. The own goes in with the ult. So Sejuani drops ult too, but Kennen comes in with his ult, getting the big stun. Picked up the Kaisa there, but looks like that is all so far. Set and Vi are recalled under their tower. Maybe they look to dive them.
Yeah, Mordekaiser TP'd in to kind of help with the pressure here. Another big Azir ult to kind of stop them from continuing, but that was another two-man Yone ult.
Ooh, Seraphine extending the ult off the Yone to pick up a Nautilus kill. That was pretty nice.
So, no, I actually, is he going for... Yeah, I think it might be a stride breaker on the Set. We do have a Nashor's Tooth finished up on the Kennen here, so it looks like he is going for a more on-hit style. And this Yone's probably got a big bank on him right now. It's only a matter of time before he gets some...
Oh, Set ulting in, but Mordekaiser ults the Set. It's like they're going to have a boxing match in the Death Realm, and Mordekaiser wins that one.
Yeah, I don't even know if he'll have time to spend his 2k gold. Looks like he might have been going for a Bloodthirster. At this point, that feels almost overkill. But hey, if you don't want to die, you don't want to die. Am I right?
We got Sejuani jumping instant up the Nautilus. Yone's on the other side fighting Azir and Kaisa there, almost getting the Kaisa. Sejuani flashes for the Azir, drops ult onto him. Azir flashes away, but still gets hit and goes down to Seraphine.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think there's just a little too much. At about 20-minute mark, we had a 10k gold lead, which is now, a 15k gold lead. They're even diving the Nexus. Well, they did end up getting another shutdown on the Yone, so that'll feel a little nice, but this match is looking to be over. We'll get the stream lag here in a second when it gets going off. Sedge having a perfect game, not dying once. Probably not the worst start, but certainly a sad end, I would say, for the match. But it is match one. They've had some time to feel each other out now.
Yeah, that was a great match overall by Apes. They're strong. They really played their comp well. Always grouping up, looking for those 5v5 fights. Just overall great match.
So here I've now hit the end game screen, waiting on getting the next lobby and draft set up. Again, I don't even know if we look at getting set up. Couldn't even say it was the worst start of a match, but it certainly was one that felt like it was going downhill pretty quick. I think even with the Set bleeding, they could have been able to turn that around on Graven, but great on Apes Together Strong to just keep pushing advantages. Oh. Just gotta let me know a little louder. Welcome back. We are moving on to game two of Apes Together Strong versus Raven Esports. We've now had the side switch, and we are moving straight into picks and bans here. The Anivia ban coming out pretty quick again. Anything you're looking to see change from Raven Esports this game, Zenial?
I think they should try focusing some bans elsewhere than onto this the 80k I believe it was last match. I think they should try to get some top lane bans, maybe some mid bans. Looks like they're already adapting with the Yone ban.
Yeah, certainly. Yon, when played in the right hands, can be a very scary champ, as the coach of my league team would let you know. So certainly not a bad band to get that out there. And I still focus a little bit on the ADCs, though, to be fair, Kaisa and Vayne are pretty strong right now, so not a surprise to see him taken out. And the Aurelion Sol and Illaoi taken out again. As we said before, they've been being played a lot. Seraphine again, she certainly had a strong impact with her ults and sustainability in the team fights. I think that's a good way to go again.
I think so. I think Seraphine played that match pretty well. I think with the Seraphine they might look to just run back the team fight style again, so that'll be fun to see.
Yeah, certainly going to be a very popular champ formation with how strong tanks are and how big their ults are. So we're seeing the Twitch come out by Raven Esports. I won't lie, I don't think I've seen Hollow the Wise play a Twitch ADC or a Twitch jungle. So I'm predicting a Twitch ADC here with Morgana following up. What are you thinking?
I'm pretty sure it's a Twitch 80 carry as well. I don't think that's in his wheelhouse. I think he's more of a bruiser assassin kind of player, which I guess Twitch fits the assassin kind of, but I don't think that's his kind of assassin.
Yeah, do you think the Morgana is going to be going mid for a safe lane or to bot lane to keep the Twitch alive?
I think it'd be good bot lane, but I've heard that Hall of the Wise has been trying in the jungle, so maybe it goes there too.
Yeah, Morgana's actually got some flexibility. Victor coming out, so nothing set yet. The Akali coming out though on the side of Apes Together Strong. I know we kind of skimmed over that. Do you think that's going to be a top lane, or is that coming into the mid lane to try to cause some havoc?
I think that's mid lane. I believe the Apes Get a Strong ban that last go, so I think that's a mid lane ban. Trying to get their Raven Esports mid laner and something comfortable here.
Yeah, certainly is a big threat, especially if you're able to get her combos off. Obviously, Victor being very strong in the mid lane as well, being able to provide a lot of damage as well as lane control and just wave clear. So Samira and Darius quick bans as well. Obviously, together strong still. I'm assuming holding off their top laner, seeing as how is the Darius ban. Mordekaiser coming out by Raven Esports, and Nos is the final one for Apes Together Strong. So really fighting for the top lane control here. Before I gloss too far over, the Sejuani jungle did come back out again, so looking to see some more, tanky initiation from that, and the Jarvan being hovered by Raven, and they have locked it in. Now, I do know that their jungler has played a fair bit of Jarvan, so we'll have to see if that'll be able to be up to par to counter out the Sejuani. And a set Aurelia quickly locked in. Well then, I'm seeing something interesting on the side of Apes Together Strong.
Yeah, they have a bunch of melee, but only Seraphine for range. So maybe it's Seraphine carry this time, or maybe it's like Irelia bot lane.
Yeah, maybe we've got a collie. I wouldn't be surprised. I think Set might be able to do some good stuff with Seraphine. Certainly have a lot of setup with each other. Um, that'll be able to work out quite well. And Pantheon coming out by Raven Esports. So I guess there is technicality in the Jarvan going top lane and such, but pretty solid to say that Pantheon, especially with all the updates, is probably taking on that position. So looking like a pretty strong draft on the side of Raven Esports. They have the hot pot technically. They have the Jarvan ult with Morgana W and Victor ult that can just sit in there and kind of melt some people away.
You
What
even got
kind of
Twitch sitting back and auto in there too with his ult. Maybe Pantheon drops an ult in there for some more fun.
yeah, there's going to be some interesting team fight plays here. A slight wombo combo in the sense than on Raven Esports, but Ace Together Strong just have some big team fight ults in general. Akali able to get there and really take out and target. Sejuani ult, as we saw last game, Set ult as well, great for targeting someone down. I guess Aurelia's ult's a little weaker in that regard, but still quite powerful, especially with getting all of the procs off her Q. And finally, Seraphine ult, as we saw last game, really put in a lot of work. So, yeah, I think It's gonna be interesting. Each Together Strong coming out very unconventional. What are you predicting, I guess, for things to go?
Uh, oh man, I don't even know where to start.
I guess at this point we're not even sure Seraphine's in the bot lane.
Yeah,
So
I
Set's been confirmed top lane based on our locking in right now on the client.
think it's pretty confirmed. It said Sejuani's gonna be the jungle too. So that just leaves Akali, Seraphine, and Irelia.
All right, so
Okay.
we have a Kali Seraphine bot lane, Irelia mid. So Ansem is saying called it, so he will now take over as solo commentator. Zenial, let's go take a break. No, I'm just joking here. Yeah, that's certainly an interesting one. A Kali Seraphine. I personally have never seen a Kali in the bot lane, so my commentary on that will be a bit limited. What about you, Zenial? Bot
I've
lane
never I've
extraordinaire.
I've never seen a Kali bot either. I remember I've played it once. That was against the Yasuo, and I still got destroyed. So I don't know how this is gonna go.
Yeah, I can't really say much on it though. Will be interesting. The ranged advantage will go obviously to the side of Raven Esports, Twitch, and Morgana. Not just being ranged, but tend to have a bit, bigger range pool there. Both sides have camouflage though, not invis. Let's make sure it's correct. Camouflage in Twitch and Akali's W. So, though I believe is it Twitch E that's the invis, or is it?
It's
No,
his
it's his.
Q, I believe.
It's his Q. Yeah, you're right. W's the pot of smelly stuff, and E is what used to be known as expunge. So
Yeah,
we are loading into this. This is going to be interesting. There's probably going to be some interesting, you know, keystones as well to kind of augment this team comp. I think that there's a lot of potential for Raven Esports to turn this game into a win if they are able to play these lanes correctly.
yeah, for sure. I don't. I just I've seldom seen an all melee comps. I don't know how well they're gonna go up against the Raven Esports team here, but you know, who knows? Maybe they just bring it out and come out swinging.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, at least in terms of mid, as someone who's played Victor a fair amount, that the Irelia matchup can be quite oppressive. You just have to kind of farm it out, as we were talking last game. She still has some dive potential, but obviously not the ult that just allows her to fly across lane per se. Um, so it'll be interesting to see if he just kind of keeps it safe and keeps the spam going on her. She does have I believe her little spinning blade ability is still only I believe it only does what? Magic damage block now, if I remember correctly.
I
So it
think
won't be
it's
as bad.
I think it's actually only physical damage now.
So in that sense, it would be better. As we saw last game, both junglers, despite having high CC, were very reluctant to go into lanes. So do you think that'll be a recurring, I guess, path this game?
Um, it very well could be, but I like to see it not be for at least the side of Apes Together Strong. I feel like with them having the range disadvantage, Sejuani needs to get in these lanes and try to get some advantages for her lanes so that they can play forward and try to get some kill pressure or just lane advantage.
Yeah, certainly. I know at least the last game the jungler for Raven Esports did hover around bot lane a lot, but there was always wards scouting him out, so it couldn't quite go in there. So it'll be interesting to see if there's a change in path, maybe some lane ganks. It's very simplistic play on all sides. Is basically who can just kill their laners in the lane fights. So I wonder if that'll be the dictating factor again this game, but set Pantheon can certainly go either way. Pantheon having a lot more damage now, being with the buffs. Victor can certainly get a surprise kill on Aurelia, especially if he takes Electrocute, though I don't predict that coming out due to how scary Aurelia can be coming in. And bot lane, obviously a good snare on either of the supports can allow the ADC to really get in there and deal some damage.
Yep, yep, and that is most definite. That Morgana snare lasts forever, so especially with the extra range Twitch is going to get from his ult, be real nice for him.
The game we casted yesterday, they maxed the snare. Do you think that'll be the same this time, or will it be maybe a maxed Black Shield for survivability?
I think both are fine here. At the very least, I'd like to see like a 3 point in the snare, and then maybe Max Black Shield after that. But I think either way is fine.
Yeah, certainly can be some adaptability. I do wonder if we'll see, and I hope we don't, but there is the chance of AP Twitch coming out this game as well. They do have some AD in their jungle on top lane, but I don't know if it's enough to pressure it for that to be the way to go.
Especially with AP Twitch being more of a burst one shot sort of thing. I think they need the constant DPS from Twitch going AD.
Yeah, certainly, and we'll have to keep an eye on set as well, see if they build it different. But with that, we are now going to be loading into the game. Alrighty then, looking at summoner spells as well as keystones. Pretty typical, I would say, kind of what I was expecting. I will say the Jarvan going much more bruiser focused here. Is there anything standing out for you besides the Seraphine taking Guardian again?
Um, Not particularly. Maybe the ignite on the Kali is a little strange. I feel like she might have wanted TP in this lane just in case she gets poked out. Have a way to get back and not lose too much.
I think they're just going all in on the aggression, though. As we can see, the Victor taking the very safe barrier as well to help there. Really, certainly a tech choice as well to just try to survive the lane a little more. Because again, as we saw in the game the other day, if Victor can survive and get an item, he can certainly make a big impact on the matches. Not a very big surprise in the top lane, double conquer and double TP as well. So not as much TP plays that could come out this game will still be interesting to see if they use him in an aggressive fashion like that.
Yeah, at least with the side of Raven Esports, though, they have the Pantheon Ultimate, so they have a little bit more global map play than the side of Apes Together Strong. But
Yeah, I am also at 100, so we'll be pausing then. Hopefully there won't be as many actual pauses loading in. Hopefully everybody was able to get in without too many troubles this time as we are loading into the actual game now. All right, I am paused at 10.
me as well.
Alrighty then, lots of pings coming out already, I think. Do you think they were going to see an invade, I guess?
Um,
They all
they
seem to be from the side looking to 5-point, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they have the Morgana, so they could look for something, but I don't think they will. I think they'll just 5 point as well, keep it nice and safe.
Yeah, neither team with the greatest CC or follow-up CC to really go for a hard lockdown. Oh, excuse me. Looks like Jarvan going for the ward, though, to try to scout out the path of the Sejuani. They both place in wards. It looks like they'll both reset and get their sweepers up. Pretty standard stuff for kind of early ward placements by the junglers. Now we see a Corrupting Pot coming out from the Irelia and the Pantheon, both looking maybe to just try to sustain out their lane. The Doran shield by the set to counteract some of the damage. Um, pretty standard stuff all around. Did you expect maybe a little different support items to start, or are these pretty typical of what you'd expect from these champs?
I think they're pretty standard as well, but something that's catching my eye here is the Doran's ring on Akali. I know that it now gives health back on kill if you don't have mana, but I think the Doran shield still could have been a good choice here just because of the ranged disadvantage she's at. She probably will be getting poked down a lot, so the regen from the Doran shield could have been pretty nice.
Yeah, I guess it's just to utilize the Qs for last hits a little more, just make sure there's some more damage. But I mean, there's also reason to go with the Doran's Blade just to make sure that the autos are dealing the damage, especially with how much she gets off her passive doing autos. And as you said already, the Rain's disadvantage looking to come in
Yeah,
against her.
Morgana even starting her W to get some extra poke here.
looking like.
Oh, we have a all-in attempt here from the Aurelia mid lane. Has to flash away though. The barrier from Victor doing well.
Yeah, strong play by the Victor, not having to blow flash there. As always, are really looking to get the passive stacked up to 5 on the creep wave, then go in on the opposing mid laner, try to get that early kill. Especially with the ignite, the cheese play was expected. It was just kind of would she do it off the first wave or not. So Victor has the slight advantage in the summoner spell, but obviously the corrupting pot will allow Aurelia to stay in the lane for a good bit longer here. And she'll be forced to. Oh, we got maybe an early rotation by the Twitch mid.
Yeah, looking like a little cheeky gank on the Aurelia, but nothing coming of that. Just a little poke. Oh, Aurelia's going under the Twitch. Twitch has to flash away, dropping autos. Redley dashes back onto him, dropping autos as well. Twitch drops heal and gets the first blood.
Yeah, very aggressive play. Oh, continuing top lane.
Oh, we got another fight going on top. Sejuani's on Jarvan. Procs the passive, or procs the stun, I mean, but doesn't get the extra damage from the auto.
And Twitch has made it back to bot lane, going in again.
Oh, Akali lands the key, goes in, picks up the kill on the Twitch. Chasing on the Morgana, but gets snared under tower and goes down the Morgana.
Apes together strong. Getting a kill back finally, but certainly some interesting plays coming out there. Maybe a little too aggressive, allowing for the kill back, which made that play a lot better for Raven Esports here. Yeah, I would say that was an interesting play by the Twitch. I guess if you are going to grab a Twitch, the early rotation power of the camo move speed.
Oh, we have Sejuani coming in top, flash on the Pantheon. Pantheon flashes out, procs the E so it doesn't take any return damage and gets to live.
Yeah, a lot stronger play from Raven Esports top lane of this game as well. Able to hold off 2 ganks now from the Sejuani and keep himself in the game a lot stronger.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm hoping the Sejuani keeps up what she's doing, starts ganking some more of these lanes, gets these advantages rolling, so they can not have to play so much to a disadvantage because of the range lack on the side of Apes Together Strong.
Yeah, certainly going to be a struggle, but especially if Raven Esports start getting their CS numbers up more here, the need for ganks will be a much higher. As I think we have a disconnect from the support, but no pause.
Yeah, no pause as of yet.
Though a trade going on in the top lane between the Pantheon and the new reduced cooldown of the Q really showing off here, and we finally have the pause coming in. Man, that's a fun time. I'll tell you what, the new Q cooldown for Pantheon, it really makes it awkward to try to trade into him when he keeps proccing it off the max stacked passive.
Yeah, his Q is up so much more often now, and if he gets those max stacks, gonna do a lot of damage. It's kind of scary to trade with them.
So we have a reconnect from the Morgana, just waiting on the full ready check to get back in. Unfortunate we had to have another disconnect here, but hopefully it won't impact the game too much. Hopefully they're loading in just fine. So something interesting I've noticed, we're about 5 minutes in here. Do you see how many wards have been placed on the side of Raven Esports?
Oh yeah, no wards dropped except for the early ward by the Sejuani. They're all holding 2 trinkets.
By the Jarvan.
Or Jarvan, sorry, yes.
Yeah, they are all holding their trinkets. They this is looking very good if Sejuani wants to make a play somewhere, as obviously she has some free roam with the lack of vision down, and she's setting up around mid now. Ooh, and the snare comes in bot lane.
Yeah, I got a snare on the Akali here. Twitch is dropping autos, but nothing more coming of that. Just a nice little trade.
Yeah, did get the max stacks with the E as well, allowing to get a nice big trade back there. Contaminate obviously really doing its dues here against her, since she has to take more than a few stacks before she's able to get a trade back on damage.
Yeah, this just like I've been stressing, the range advantage coming in.
Yeah, I think we were expecting maybe a little bit bigger. They only have about a 0.3k lead though, so not quite enough to call it being a huge disadvantage, but we'll have to see in the fights coming up. We are getting our first level 6 here from the mid lane Aurelia, and obviously Pantheon has 6 as well. It'll be interesting to see if he's heading top, but we'll use it to try to gank a lane here.
Also, something to note. Even with the lack of range, every laner for the side of Apes Together Strong is up in farm.
Yeah, they've certainly been, though there has been some interesting stuff. Jarvan looking for the gank here bot lane.
Yep, goes in the Seraphine. Seraphine flashes out from the EQ from Jarvan. That'll be
Looking to
all she wrote
be,
for that.
yeah, about that for the fight. Did get the flash out of Seraphine, though, for no summoners returned and dealt some damage as well. So CS is getting worrying. There is a blasting wand that was picked up first back for Akali. Do you think that's going to be a big damage item here for this early dragon fight?
I think so, yeah. I think that gives them a pretty good advantage. The Twitch only having 2 longswords compared to Akali's the blasting wand, I think gives her a pretty strong advantage here. Though
So
she's
they
running low on.
scouted it out, but I don't know if they're going to be doing anything here. Jarvan coming in, though.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're gonna go for a fight. Just gonna give that over. Aurelia drops ult on the Jarvan. Jarvan EQs out, has to flash away from the dash on Aurelia. Aurelia drops the ignite, but nothing more there. Just
Aurelia also flashed to be able to queue onto him, so lots of summoners used for not much there, but they did secure the dragon after all, so this might be the chance for Victor to maybe find a sneak kill on Aurelia since she has ult and both summoners down.
very true, very true. Aurelia has to play a little bit more safe here now
A little
with
more
her flash being
conservative on
down.
resources. And he does have the ever-present Lost Chapter as well, which is going to allow him to really start dishing in some deeps and some sustain in the lane. Though he almost has the first upgrade. He's getting very close on it. So very soon here we'll see Victor at 87 stacks, just maybe 1 or 2 more waves, and he'll be able to start really bursting down the minion wave and even the champions, depending on what we upgrades. Though it's usually the E.
Like we have a trade going on top here.
Yeah, very aggressive brawl. I did not assume it would keep going, to be honest. That's why I kept talking. But
Yeah.
they just want to fight, I guess. Want a little revenge for last game. It seems Raven Esports top player has decided that he's not going to take nothing this time. He's going to dish it back.
Man, looking to create himself an advantage here. Oh, Aurelia dashing in mid, hits the stun on Victor, dashes onto him. Victor dropping the stun to dissuade the Aurelia, and it does just that.
Yeah, getting even closer to getting the evolve. As we can see, I think we're getting another Blade of the Ruined King on the set this game.
It looks that way. Also, you have a Sejuani dashing onto the Jarvan here, having the level advantage. Drops the ult on the Jarvan, picks up the solo kill. Pantheon ults in, stuns up the Aurelia. Victor walks over, drops ult on the Aurelia, finishes her up. Twitch has showed up now too, but doesn't get anything from that. Pantheon picking up the kill onto the Sejuani.
Yeah, great rotation. That's how you use a Pantheon ult. Really try to turn the tide of what could have been a bad fight. And obviously Victor getting in there. That kill get him his first upgrade and got him more than a few points. He's now halfway to his next upgrade as well.
Oh, we got a little fight going on bot here. Seraphine dropping out the Morgana, shielding the Victor. Akali dropping ult on Victor. Gets the kill with the Shuriken flip. Drops Qs on the Morgana. Morgana drops the exhaust. Akali flashes away. Jarvan ults in, but can't protect the Morgana. Seraphine picks up the kill with their E.
Yeah, unfortunately, right when he ulted is right when the Akali dashed, and because they changed the damage from point and click to an AoE of where the ult lands, she happened to just get out of that range. So unlucky for the Jarvan there. I know it has been a sad change for the Jarvan. Great for team fights, not as so much when going on a solo target that jumps out due to, as you saw, the moment he hit the ground was she was not in the circle, so the damage did not apply, allowing her to just escape. So great trade back from Apes Together Strong there.
Yeah, great indeed. This Akali actually working out pretty nicely for them in the bot lane here. Doing a lot better
Yeah.
than I did against that Yasuo.
Would you say that she is building, I believe, a Night Harvester here, so really going in for that kind of burst assassin damage?
Yeah, looks that way. Looks like she wants to just one-shot whoever she gets onto. So we have Sejuani coming up top. Maybe looking for a gank. Oh, set fast behind the Pantheon. All of a sudden back towards Sejuani. Pantheon drops the E, flashes away, and gets to live.
So flash for flash used there, as well as Set's ult. Probably good for the Pantheon to get out since they also had Sejuani rotate and go in. Did Sejuani ult there? I can't tell based on the cooldown. Yeah, it looks like
I
she
believe she
probably
did.
did, and he
Yeah.
was able. So 2 ults and a flash, and he's TPing back in, and Jarvan's here to help.
Yep. Might be looking for the set here. I know he's down his flash. Lands the EQ knockup. Pantheon lands the stun. Set drops his shields, stunning up the Pantheon and the Jarvan, but not enough. Sejuani may have stayed a little too long here. Oh, looks like we're going mid. Aurelia drops ult, misses the stun, dashes in the Victor. Victor drops the stun, stuns up Aurelia and picks up the kill.
Yeah, the stun unfortunately has a pretty long cooldown for the Pantheon, especially when he only has the 1 point in it. So was able to just barely get away from the top there fight there. But smart on the Pantheon to hold the Q for after the shield, and great play by the Victor. Just narrowly, I really was not able to step out of his W and got stunned under tower, and he was able to burst down. So this is what we were worried about earlier: is all the summoner usage by the Aurelia might start costing her if she's goes for these aggressive plays.
Yeah, definitely. If she thinks she needs to, I know she's still pretty even on items here, but I think she needs to slow it down a little bit. Maybe look to pick up some kills in some team fights before she tries to go aggressive again. 1v1 against the Victor here.
Yeah, now that he has 2 upgrades too, he's really going to be able to fight, obviously, or actually he's just about at the 2nd upgrade by the looks of it. But he does have the E upgrade, which is going to allow him to clear the waves very efficiently. And in a wave or 2 here, he'll have his next one. The Q upgrade is a big one for the movement speed and shielding. We do have our first mythic item being completed by Pantheon. He may have been down in farm, but he got a gourd drinker finished pretty quick. Going to make him extremely difficult to deal with in these fights.
Yeah, definitely. The gore drinker healing is just insane. So that'll be something scary for Apes strong to deal with. Looks like we have a dragon fight going on here. Pantheon's ulting in. Aurelia lands stun on Pantheon. Pantheon stun up Sejuani. Victor gets killed Sejuani. Kali ults into the Twitch, but has to ult out because of the exhaust and ult from Morgana. Aurelia has to flash away from the team of Raven Esports.
Chasing
Kali's
down
still in
the
the
Akali. Not much hope for her to get away with the blue smite here. Let's not forget that in that way earlier fight when the Pantheon ulted mid and Twitch was there, they got the Rift Herald on the Twitch and he placed it before coming up for that fight. So he even got some bonus gold off the tower plates from bot lane as they are only about to go away just now. So great efficient play by Raven Esports, getting tower plates, getting the dragon, getting a bunch of kills as well. This is really what they needed in game 2 to really turn the this kind of series around.
Yeah, playing this match really well.
You can certainly tell they did not take the loss too much to heart. Just said, we need to reconfigure our game plan and go at it again.
Oh, we got a fight top. Oh my goodness, Set ulting the Pantheon after his E wears off and picks up the shutdown.
Yeah, Gore Drinker makes him very survivable, but looks like the Steel Caps are really putting in work there to keep Pantheon from dealing too much damage and allowing him to get up. Obviously, both having Conquer and the Set having all the bonus attack speed from the recurve bow and the bonus healing from the Vampiric to counteract the bonus healing from the Gore Drinker really helped out.
Yeah, definitely.
And Gore Drinker doesn't have just life steal, it's only from the active. So the only healing he has is the Conqueror. So really a battle of attrition in some of these fights.
Yeah, I always forget that the healing is just based off the active, not the actual item itself.
Certainly has some regen added to it, but not enough really to be noticeable in a fight. 150% base is great, but that's not going to be doing as much as a Vampire Scepter when you're getting punched over and over by the Mad Boxer himself. So yeah, Kali finished that Night Harvester. She is looking to be a scary, scary threat now if she can get in on somebody. And the victor this game going with Luden's Tempest for the extra burst damage. Missed snare attempt there, but a Sunfire Aegis as well finished on Jarvan. So had the Conquer for fighting, but going full tank to help support his team's composition.
I think that's overall a good itemization here. You have a lot of damage on your team already. You don't need to add more to it. Just be a good front line for your team. Make sure that they're smacking you instead of your carries here.
Yeah, as long as he keeps the knockups coming in the fight too. If they're unable to kill him, he'll just keep popping them out here and there. Looks like though we're hitting a slower point of the match, going back to kind of just farming it out, which is probably fine for even Esports. They are certainly in the spot to do that.
Yeah, definitely. They have the better scaling, I'd say, here with the Victor and the Twitch. So they're in a great spot to just sit back and farm.
Yeah, and since they kept Akali out of the match for a good bit, it's going to be a lot harder for her to, snowball this game out of control, especially with the Irelia unable to get any big advantage off the solo kill attempts. Though she did finish a Blade of the Ruined King as well as the set.
Oh, we have a fight top. Set ulting the Pantheon. Got a nice stun on them earlier here. Pantheon dropping the E. Dissuade some of that damage, but Set still picks the kill.
Oh, nice black shield from the Morgana to escape the snare. Or I believe it's a stun.
Yeah, we have a gank mid here.
Oh, it's the hot pot. The hot pot. We saw it live on Twitch TV. Please come and subscribe.
Oh, Sejuani coming
Sejuani.
in mid now. Jumping on the Jarvan, but Jarvan EQ's out.
Not sure of the flash by the Victor there personally, though the bot lane was coming in right then, so might have just been preemptive for the Seraphine, stun coming out. But yeah, good little kill on the Irelia. As we see here, though, the Blade of the Ruined King's just making it a little too hard for Pantheon to 1v1, especially with how awkward it is trying to use his E to block some of the damage, since it's not, the same burst. It's a lot of overtime with all the autos.
Yeah, definitely. I think Pantheon is better off saving his E for like Set's ult or maybe his W.
Yeah, I'll really be for that trade back there. But to be fair, once you get slowed by that, it's kind of like you're not really getting away. You got to fight it out. So Sejuani and Seraphine cleaning up second rift here, might be using that to open up a lane. It'll be interesting to see if they use it on mid or bot to get tier 1, or if they go all the way for like top lane or something to get a tier 2 and maybe a tier 3.
Yeah, I think the play here might be to maybe drop it even mid lane, try to get your Aurelia back in the match, or have her go to a side lane and drop it for try to get her some gold.
Yeah, she's actually not as out of it as one might assume. Blade of the Ruined King is going to give her a fair amount of damage with the and being a level 11 after all. If she can get in, especially on like the bot lane, who aren't necessarily weak. We do have a Gale Force on the Twitch to help live, but if she can get in there, she's still going to do her deeps, especially when she gets all 5 stacks of her passive and Conqueror up.
Speaking of earlier, she drops ult 1v4 here, gets the Victor. We have Seraphine and Akali coming in. Seraphine dropping her ult, Akali dropping the ult, Twitch heading the flash away. Sejuani comes in, picks up the Morgana. Pantheon stun up the Akali, but it's not enough. He goes down as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, Victor going down there, kind of their biggest damage dealer, especially burst damage wise. Losing him so fast really hurts their comp. He didn't even get his ult off there. If he had been able to maybe even leave that, they could have stunned him in the ult and gotten the free damage for him there. But yeah, very, very hard fought, turnaround there by Apes Together Strong to be able to get this next dragon.
Yeah, definitely a great fight from Apes Together Strong here, putting them back in the driver's seat a little bit here.
We were just talking about how Irelia still has some damage as well.
Yeah, oh, Jarvan dropping ult mid. Twitch dropping the heal for the Jarvan. Barely surviving off of that heal. Twitch is chasing the Akali, trying to pick up another kill here, but can't get in range.
That was a great play, and luckily because the Twitch had the heal, the Jarvan also, as we said earlier, just tanking up, becoming that big frontliner, was able to just sit there in the ult with 3 people and survive that fight and allow the Twitch to get a pickup on the Seraphine, force the Kali back as well as the Sejuani, and kind of make them waste the rift. They didn't even get the tower. Sure, it got the charge off, but the tower is still standing mid.
Yeah, that is. They barely didn't get it there, looks like. Oh, we have Morgana deep in the blue side here, looking to drop some wards. Gets the walk out though, so she wanted to doesn't want to chase her down there.
Yeah, and she still had Black Shield up, so she could have just Black Shielded and walked away. Not much that she could do to stop her. Looks like they have some, warding coming around on the Baron. Obviously, the next big objective on the map with the Dragon going down not too long ago. Don't think either team's going to be looking to rush it, and luckily the Aurelia and Set have built, and Set building a very scary second item Gourd Drinker here to really tank up. This is where the Pantheon's kind of fallen behind due to the lack of farm. and losing his towers, losing just the one tower top has really hurt him. The second item, Power Spike by the set, will allow him to really brawl him. But yeah, I think Aurelian set have the damage to maybe help do a relatively quick Baron.
Oh, sorry to cut you off here. Kali find the Twitch, but nothing more than that. Just find the Twitch, get a little poke onto him.
Yeah, it looks like the Gale Force is really making its dues here.
Also, again, another Tiamat. This
Yeah,
guy.
I can't tell you the tech choice on that one personally.
Oh, little attempted engagement here from the side of Apes Together Strong in the mid lane, but Victor and Morgana barely dodged out of that. Akali finding the Twitch again, dropping ult and picking up the solo kill.
Unfortunately, he was unable to just Gale Force Invis out of that one, but it looks like they're still trying to contest to get this first tower mid.
And this guy must really like the Omni Vamp off Ravenous Hydra because he built it last game too on Kaisa.
Yeah, certainly an interesting tech choice. I certainly know a Kindred jungle who loves to get the Tiamat as well, so has its variability and some decent use, honestly, on some arranged champs this season with the changes that have come to it.
Yeah, most definitely. Also, just being able to use the Hydra and range champs is really helpful.
A little trading of the places there between Akali and the Jarvan. But all five here for Apes Together Strong. Looks like they're really trying to find some picks here to maybe go for a Baron play.
Yeah, really looking to get something started here.
But all five of Raven Esports are also in the area with Pantheon just clearing top wave.
Yep, and looks like it's gonna dissuade Apes Together Strong. They're gonna just back out, maybe get some resets in.
Yeah, just getting some ward coverage back down. Looks like they have fought back and taken out a few of the wards, but there's still at least one left in the red side from Ace Together Strong. But good on Raven Esports to not lose anything there and keep positioning for Baron. Certainly could have been a very bad fight there by either side that could have snowballed into a Baron play.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, you
That
see
would
the
have been.
second item out of the Jarvan?
Oh yeah, Knight's Vow. Looking to beef up one of his carries here, make sure they don't take as much damage. That's a nice itemization.
Yeah, as you were saying before, tank up, become that front line with the more, and especially with Morgana's mythic coming out as the locket. They're really just trying to survive these fights and outlast their opponents. Certainly, if they're able to kite him out, I think they do just win the fights with the lack of range. They have to hard engage and full commit with their mobility.
Yeah, definitely. Really nice. I really like itemization here for the Jarvan. That's really nice.
Looking like there's some fishing for maybe a little fight to start here. We do have Pantheon top still, but he does have ult. He can easily rotate, and he's hit mid now. He might even clear a wave, but looking like we might have a 5v5 setting up here.
Hey, another fight looking like it's about to be underway here. For this third dragon here. Don't want actually like Sean to get their soul point.
Lots of CC being thrown out. Obviously, Morgana hoping to find that snare that maybe starts off the fight.
Yep, they're really looking for stuns as well. Barely missing that one. Jarvan going in now, missing the EQ. That's Sejuani going in on the Jarvan. Seraphine dropping, hitting a 3-man. Jarvan dropping ult on the back line of Apes Together Strong here, though. Oh my, Seraphine running away from the Pantheon. Pantheon using Gore Drinking to stay healthy here. Picks up Seraphine. Looking to not get stunned here. Maybe goes back on the Akali. Yes, he does. Jumps on her. Akali drops the Zanyas, though. Pops Gore Drinker again, but not enough.
Yeah, I think that was a really good play. They really like using, and I've seen it a few times out of Apes Together Strong, where they line up in a line for the Seraphine ult to get the bonus range. That allowed it to go from, maybe an iffy max range one person to a full 3-man ult grab by her, which really basically put the fight always in their favor when 3 members, and I believe they were 3 big members as well, due to the Pantheon and Jarvan being in front, being the Twitch, Morgana, and Victor all getting taunted there.
Yeah, these Seraphine ults are something special. I got Raven Esports have to find a way to play around these better in these fights. Oh, Jarvan going on the Irelia here, dropping the EQ, but Irelia drops the stun and dissuades the engage any further.
Yeah, did not have ult for fire follow up, and Morgana was a little too far to go for the snare there. But I don't think that fight necessarily pushes him out, as it was only for Soul Point instead of Soul. Second Ocean Soul is obnoxious, but then again, they're not really a poke comp, so besides maybe some extra poke damage they could get off the Victor, they're not really aiming to poke out the enemy lane per chance. But this does kind of make their range disadvantage a lot less of a disadvantage, being able to just back up and heal it off.
Yeah, definitely. Ocean Soul is going to work real nice for their team here.
A little fight for the scuttle, but Apes Together Strong had a little too many people on it. Morgana not wanting to step up for good reason to, potentially die for a scuttle, especially as that might start the reason to go for Baron here.
Yep, and now it looks like it's just back to Fireman. Back to
Yeah. Both teams pretty fine with kind of slow rolling it out. Obviously, nobody's super far into their item builds. Some big items have come out, though. Obviously, Set's working on the third. Pantheon off that fight was able to finish up a Black Cleaver. Sejuani has finished a Sunfire and has been building a Warmogs in the meantime. Irelia has finished a Trinity Force off those last few fights. Victor getting a Lichbane to help with the burst, and Akali getting a Zhonya's going into a Lichbane herself, and of course Seraphine with the ever popular Moonstone Reaver. So yeah, lots of big items here. Mostly damage coming out for the most part. So you think any of these will really play a big part in these next few fights?
I think the Black Cleaver on the Pantheon helps him quite a bit. Makes him pretty tanky. Maybe he can survive more, in the front line in these fights a little longer here. Though he did survive pretty long in that last fight without it, so
Yeah,
maybe
I
just
think the Trinity Force grab though is quite terrifying, seeing as they really worked hard to shut the Irelia down, and now she's got a big bounty on her head.
yeah, it's very true. Earlier was still in this game, surprisingly, after I think going down 4 times to the Victor early on.
I will say Victor working on the Zhonya's Lichbane is an immensely strong item. Really kind of combos with the Ludens as well, with the Q into enhanced auto. Again, the enhanced auto does proc off the other part. Oh, fight bottom here.
Just
Nah, just
little
some
quick
trade.
trade. Yep, just chase him down a little bit, trying to establish his dominance.
Yeah, certainly looking even worse for the Pantheon in the 1v1 matchup. Just wasn't unable to get that second item advantage like Set was, and Set's been able to push that onto him ever since. Though he's not too far behind. Maybe in the 1v1 there it's awkward, but against the rest of the team, Pantheon's still dealing a lot of damage.
Most definitely, Pantheon still has some great damage here. Maybe just not in the 1v1 aspect, but in the team fight aspect, he can still survive these fights, do some damage, pick up some kills. He's behind in the 1v1, but not overall in the team fight, I'd say.
Yeah, take a look at what Twitch has finished here. Runaan's Hurricane. That is a lot of AoE damage.
That it is. Oh, we have an engage going on bots. Set drops the ult onto the Pantheon. Pantheon uses E to get some of this damage blocked, but not enough. Set drops the Haymaker and just lays him out.
Fortunately, I
Oh,
think the creeps were against Pantheon there. They actually kind of made it a little harder for him to get outside of the true damage section.
another fight going on mid here. Seraphine drops ult in the Victor. Sejuani dropping ult onto the Jarvan, picking up 2 quick kills, and now it looks like they're going to turn over the Baron.
Yeah, another play there. Seraphine ulting, hitting the Sejuani, gaining the extended range, and going on to hit the Victor. Again, great use. I don't know if it's on purpose or not, but it's certainly with how consistent they've gotten the extended range to go off and hit the opponent's carries has been just perfect play for them to stay in this game that was looking very rough to begin with.
Yeah, the way they're lining up for Seraphine is real nice here. Oh, Akali hits the E, follows it up, and picks up the Twitch. Morgana dropping the ult. Akali's Zanya's so he doesn't go down to the Morgana ult here.
Yeah, it was certainly looking really good. Twitch maybe finding some exit kills there, getting the ult with the Runaan's over the wall, just kind of picking at everybody, but he took a little too much, and once the Akali E hit, it was just going to be a horrible time for him.
Yeah, Fortunately, Akali with her build is just the one-shot queen right now. Twitch is a little too squishy to survive that.
Yeah, she did indeed finish off. Oh, Jarvan tried, was unable to steal the dragon. They now have Soul, Ocean Soul. Immense regen online.
Yeah, Apes together strong, looking real strong here now. After picking up Baron and Ocean Soul, picked
Yeah,
up
but the
what's that? A 5K gold lead now too.
yes, looking pretty big here. Oh, got the
Oh,
snare hit.
three-man Seraphine ult, hitting the Pantheon and bot lane. Morgana and Twitch there, their bot lane. Pantheon going under his tower trying to survive, dropping the E, dropping the Gorge Drinker, but barely goes down, but also trades one back onto the Aurelia.
Yeah, the Pantheon's been making some big play and been able to survive a good bit in these fights, but he's just not picking off the targets before his team goes down, unfortunately. A great setup set, pulling in the entire kind of squad there for the Seraphine ult, making it almost impossible to dodge it off the stun. Just great, micro play in these big fights to really seal it for Apes Together Strong. Not much that could be done here by Raven Esports, unfortunately.
Yeah, Seraphine is just dropping some amazing ults, and whether that's her team lining up for her, or her just finding the angles. These are always just multi-man ults, just turning the fights for her team.
Yeah, certainly was a game where they needed to push that range advantage and harass their opponents out, but they just managed to, kind of squirrel away and find what farm they could and kept in line with experience, and that's really helped them to stay in this game, even if they weren't popping off in the lane phase.
Yeah, they've just survived and started fighting, won these fights, got some advantages, and look at them now. They're just Ocean Soul Baron cracked open the base, got a nice gold lead too.
Yeah, we have a 9k gold lead now. It's really starting to snowball out of control with getting that bot lane inhib and tower as well. No big objective spawning, but I mean, I think it's going to be a hard time now having to counter push. Luckily, the Victor is very strong at taking care of waves, so he'll be able to hold off the one wave at least for a while.
Yeah, it looks like they have found the Pantheon here, stunning them up, and Kali cracking them down with the ult there. Sajuwani throwing ult towards the Victor, or towards the Jarvan and the Twitch, but goes wide. Seraphine dropping ult too, but that misses as well, getting snared up by the Morgana.
Yeah, certainly an aggressive play there. Oh, it's still going
Oh,
on.
yep, looks like Aurelia's found the flank, picks up the Morgana kill, Twitch is on the back line, dropping ult, free firing here, trying to pick up some kills, but just can't because of all the Zanyas. And Aurelia finds the Twitch here. Victor coming in now, dropping the ult on the Sejuani, but just not enough.
Certainly dealing some good damage, but they are just getting caught out here and there. They are just kind of deathballing right now, really making the Sejuani a lot stronger than she is. This is something I guess we forgot to mention is how much melees means that she can get the stuns off all the time. It's like every character has an extra stun when they are able to proc that.
Yeah, the Sejuani pick paying off really well here with all the melees they have, and the Apes together strong.
And they have gotten the last inhibs, mega creeps, as one might say, going to have lots and lots and lots of super creeps coming in. It's going to be quite difficult for them to defend this here while also fighting off the opposing champions.
Yeah, definitely. But this is where Twitch's build pays off here. With all the AoE he has, can clear these waves pretty effectively. Along with the Victor, there's some decent wave throw they can just hold out here.
Yeah, looks like he's going for Infinity Edge next, not even building Ravenous or anything with the time at. Kind of terrifying gaming right now. They're just standing under their last tower, just holding on for dear life, trying to look for this fight to turn it back in their favor.
Yeah, let's see if they can hopefully find something here, get some momentum back in their favor.
Yeah, we have 4 items on the set as well now, finishing up the Sterix and the Thornmail, getting extremely tanky.
Oh, we
Oh,
have
looks like
Seraphine landing the
double.
two-man ult here, going on the fight, set ulting the Pantheon and dropping him. Looks like we got a Kali going on the Morgana, decided to want something to Jarvan here. Irelia dies over on the backline trying to finish off the Victor.
Unfortunately, the setup into the multi-ult is just too much, and Apes Together Strong has finished off game number 2 here, giving him 2-0 win for game 1. Certainly, lots of good moments by Raven Esports. They are nowhere near out of contention, obviously, with only being week one. And obviously, you have a lot to work on when going in. So, great play by both teams. Really showed some strong play and some interesting draft strategies. We'll certainly keep the division in, some nice pockets of fun with rosters like that, pulling stuff out like that.
Yeah, also that I have to just commend that Seraphine. Those ults that game were just insane. Always hitting more than one person with their ult. That was something special to watch.
Yeah, certainly could be given some credit to the team for utilizing the unique, interaction it has where it can bounce off champions to go even further. So great play all around. And congratulations to Apes Together Strong for winning both games. And good luck, Raven Esports, in your next matches. We're being asked if we wanted to do any post-game interviews.
Um, might be
Can
worth getting that Seraphine. Those ults. I'd love to speak to Seraphine here.
Let's see. That was Piltover. I actually can't see their chat, so I have no idea who is able to be grabbed. All right. Well, Miles, I'll let you pick who you want to drag in, because I can't A, C, or B know who we should pull. We could pull in some from Apes Together Strong, see if we can get some ideas on the game plan behind that Team Comp game 2 there.
Yeah, that's sounds good to me.
Thinks
Um,
might be wanting to. He's the ADC that played Akali there.
okay. Hey, let's check cyanide in. That works for me.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
certainly interesting gameplay in game 2 there. Going to be the talk of the town for a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. We went into the match day and we weren't really sure what we wanted to do. We knew we had options of the things we wanted to play, uh, and a lot of it came down to we didn't want to. We had a high praise for this team. We thought uh, they were going to be a team that we would face in playoffs, possibly finals. So we didn't want to give them the special. So we decided to kind of play champs that we're working on and champs that we're trying to develop a comp around, but not quite set in stone yet. And so that's what you saw game one and game two with the first game with the Ken and Seraphine, second game with the Akali Seraphine, in the Yone Irelia as well.
okay. All right.
Yeah, I would
What?
say I don't know if you guys planned on it or not, but you had some excellent usage of the Seraphine's unique ability on the ult to increase its range to kind of pop it into the opponents and get multiple
Yeah.
people. Was that planned, or was that kind of something you just capitalized on?
Yeah, that was planned. Our support, we call him Uncle ABCD. He was like, guys, stand in a line, please. And he would just we were just lining up like kids for a school bus, and we were just kind of waiting for him to shoot one through and get the extra range on it. So that it was planned, yeah.
Wow. All right. That worked really well for you guys. I don't think I've ever saw the Seraphine hit less than two people.
Yeah. It was fun. I also just want to apologize to you guys at the casters for some technical difficulties early in the series here. Uh, when I was picking, I accidentally picked Kale, and because the champ list moved down and it was pretty awkward. And then one of their guys had their client was loading, and then his computer crashed. I don't know, whatever. So sorry for that. I hate to make you guys wait. Hopefully, that doesn't ruin our chances for future casts because it was pretty bad. But hopefully, we made up with entertaining gameplay.
that was quite alright. We got to talk a little bit about interesting things for your guys' champions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
luckily, due to the interesting picks you made, there wasn't a lack of
yeah,
conversation pieces to have. And, gonna happen, technical issues, this or that. I guess, was that second comp built around the Sejuani passive just to try to maximize the amount of stuns off that? Or is it just, hey, let's just pick champs that you know, we're feeling right now and just try to capitalize on our own personal momentum?
yeah. It's funny because it initially started with me saying I'm gonna play Akali because I haven't played Akali yet in Seal, and she's like my one trick. So I was like, guys, I'm playing Akali. You just pick whatever you want. And we knew the Seraphine worked with it because we played that previous in Flex games. And so I wanted we knew we wanted the Seraphine, and we were kind of deciding like what jungle. Sejuani, obviously the auto passive. We were actually kind of talking about maybe a Braum to put a Braum in there because he's also got the auto passive for the stuns. But yeah, no, the Sejuani was definitely a highlight for our comp because we knew we had the set, the Irelia, and the Akali all to just get pretty much perma CC, and it worked out beautifully for us. We were able to. Our main issue that game was going to be uh, the the people who are able to leap onto the backline surviving. And so having the Pantheon and the Jarvan and the Morgana really not be able to do too much because of the Sejuani. It was super important for me to get onto the Twitch every fight, and same process for my teammates as well.
Yeah, certainly was a big need to get onto that Twitch. He was building mad AoE damage, so if he was allowed to
Mhm.
survive, and he did at some of the end fights there, but it was just a little too late due to how well you guys handled him early. But he was able to get some pretty big, high damage autos off on multiple people. So it was certainly some excellent play, and I see you guys are certainly a team willing to go outside of the norm. Yeah, there's LCS and all of that, but you're your own squad. You're Apes Together Strong, doing what you do, building your own comps, and that might be the it factor you guys need to take over the lead.
Thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, we work hard on our drafts, and we're just trying to remain unpredictable because we know we're good at a lot of champions. So we're just trying to remain kind of like that the enigma of the league. So hopefully we can continue to do well in games where maybe we don't expect to, while we experiment a little bit. We're gonna pull the C9 strategy and hopefully not fall off like them.
well, yeah, that draft can definitely work for you guys in both those games. That was something to watch.
It was weird though. Like the first game was more surprising than second, I would say, because Slav has just recently picked up Yone. He's like 6 or 7 games on him. I haven't played Kennen since last season. Uh, like, and I really only played 3 games. I played 3 games on my alt account on him, and it's listed by the way. But yeah, so that's it. We really have not had any practice with that comp. So we were more surprised with our first game, and how well that draft worked out because we weren't really expecting that at all. We were fine going with 1-1.
Yeah, certainly could have pushed the advantage a little better, but you guys certainly kept it safe and just didn't
Yeah.
let Raven Esports find too much space to make it in. The Kennen was certainly a surprise pick. We had us wondering, is this going to be on hit? Is going to be AP? They picked the Yone to kind of deal some AD. Where is this going to go? And ended up being the on hit. Kraken Slayer certainly being a little, not to say more out there, but certainly really pushing the limits of your champion's capabilities
Yeah.
with Kraken Slayer. And you made it work out. Maybe not as pop off as the Akali was in game 2, but did the
Right.
job that needed to be done and certainly helped out a lot in the team fights.
Yeah. Yeah. On the when I've been practicing it a few games, just no one plays Kennen ADC really anymore that I know. So I was like, what do I build on this champion? And I was like, screw it, let's try Kraken Slayer. and then I was like, what do I go with my second item? I was like, oh, Nashor's Tooth sounds good. Like, so I'm in Nashor's Tooth. So I didn't know what I was doing. But it worked out. My autos were actually kind of hurting a little bit. It was funny. But obviously the main reason we have Kennen is for the ultimates. I had like 12, 14 assists that game or something because I would just alt flash in every time. So that's really the main reason we had that pick because it's more utility than any other ADC offers in a team fight. So we got and he's able to hold his own too with those autos. Those autos are deadly. Don't sleep on Kennen autos. So yeah, there's the thought process on that.
That was telling you, the way you guys played those games was very nice.
Yeah, certainly will be people will be looking forward to see how well you guys can uphold that if you're still able to kind of to hold in some of those, crazy plays and team fight combinations through the next series you guys have. Will be certainly a lot of fun. Is there any kind of remarks you guys have on your opposition in terms of how they played and wishing them luck, or maybe some surprises you were not expecting out of them?
Yeah, yeah, no, I thought they played a lot better than what the scoreline showed. We won 2-0 obviously, but they they were definitely not an easy opponent. We had to take it slow. We had to take it methodical because we knew if we gave them an inch, they would take it away. Just like we lost that team fight early in the game 2, in the Dragon, they collapsed on us with the Pantheon ult, and we were caught off guard. They when they picked their spots, they were really good. I would say my only advice to them is that they maybe look to pick their spots more often. There were a lot of opportunities where we could have been caught out, and they chose not to. So I would say that as some advice to them moving forward is just really work on being more decisive with their actions, because they are a really good mechanical team, and if they're able to coordinate their engages more, then they could be a huge force in this division. So there's that to them. And I also want to give credit to the Twitch in game 2. He made some really good roams across the map. We weren't expecting it at all. Made some great plays mid. Even picked up a Rift Herald on his own or something like that. So it was pretty wild. So
Yeah, I was
definitely
gonna
free work to them.
ask if the the ADC Twitch ganks were gonna be something that took you guys off guard. Certainly, a small critique of both teams, I think, was the amount of high gank potential off your guys' junglers. So it'll be
Mhm,
interesting to see if that becomes a little more confident. Though,
mhm.
looks like we are running out of time. Do you have any final questions to ask our guest here, Zenial?
Uh,
Um, I don't believe so. I think you covered most questions I wanted to ask.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, you are an active member of this Discord, so people can always ask you questions in the general chat. But we are pretty much out of time on the interview section. Thank you so much for joining us for the post-game interview today.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Thanks for the cast.
Yeah, and good luck
Yeah,
on
of
your
course.
future games. We will be watching with high anticipation of some more nutty comps coming out.
Sounds good.